Well, hello, my beautiful Librans. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for May 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, the frequencies of the earth are changing at this present time. You can all feel it, of course, and what it means for the Tibetan symbols that I normally use, it's basically a time where they may not be as palatable to the ear as they used to be as we become more sensitive and open to the vibrations around us. So I've sourced a softer frequency to prepare and cleanse your reading. I'm using Gaia chimes to cleanse hourly, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your monthly reading for May. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are, and we are finally leaving all those horrendous retrogrades and eclipses in the dust, which is great news. Now, May is mostly calm. I say mostly, but the month of May will actually offer very auspicious vibrations and energy, a steadier pace, and of course a moment to breathe with harmonious trines to really get centered and focus on what truly makes you feel happy and secure. Now, personally, I'm a little bit suspicious that the planetary alignments are presenting as quite calm for the majority of the month. Now, most people, of course, they may see that as super positive, and I really do as well. However, we do have a full moon in Scorpio in opposition to Uranus on the 12th of May. Now, I'm a Scorpio, and if I know one thing, if Scorpio goes quiet, or even the energy around them, run. Something big is coming. So the beginning of May could literally be the calm before the storm, as this full moon could get a little volatile and intense and leave you feeling a little bit sensitive. Now, the alignments are shifting into positions that will really pack some serious punch later on in the year, especially since heavyweight planet Saturn, ruler of Karma, it makes a massive shift from the 24th of May into the sign of Aries. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves yet and recognize that we have officially moved into beautiful Taurus season, ruled by Venus, of course. So let's take a moment to really enjoy all the positive aspects it will offer us on a personal level, for it really will increase your ability to release pressure, find peace, and lock on to the opportunities to increase and safeguard your wealth, as well as fun and comfort. Now, you may feel inclined to beautify your home, maybe do some DIY, declutter, or revamp with a fresh new color palette, whatever keeps your home feeling like a sanctuary of calm. Plus, Jupiter, my favorite planet of good fortune, it actually moves into the sign of Gemini. Now, this will expand opportunities for fun, social gatherings, travel, and actually double the luck, especially if you have meetings or presentations or even online businesses. Now, no matter what you do, the first part of the month shall really see you shine and attract. I mean, even in love, if you're searching for someone special to share your life with, this is the perfect month to really ground your energy, embrace your sensual side, and delight your senses with moments of pleasure and leisure. You might feel compelled to get really explorative with food this month and develop your kitchen witch or wizard, trying out new recipes, prioritizing your health, and being more consistent with any routines that help empower you. Attending festivities, cultural events, and planning vacational getaways to help you really decompress as well. But let's really face facts. Taurus season will keep you focused on your money, okay? And offering careful attention to build long-term goals and, of course, gains whilst utilizing new technology to keep track of your finances. And because you are actually influenced by Venus as well, this could be a big month for you in those areas. Now, you may actually be compounding your wealth. You may also have stability at the forefront of your mind. You may also have a thirst to learn more about financial structures. Maybe even make your money work for you, whether that's through professional advice or self-help books. It really will be a great time as well to save down any financial statements to confirm your liquidity. Now, whether that's you having a little or a lot, it's really important just in case glitches occur or gremlins meddle in the system, if you know what I mean. I have been talking about major power outages now for the last couple of months, and we've just seen one across Europe. So this is the sort of thing I was talking about. So it's really just important to just save down so that you can prove what you have in your account should anything glitch there when the power goes down. Nothing to worry about, of course, but I want you to be aware of that. Always good to be savvy. Now, of course, this period, it will really ask you to rebalance, to find natural stillness, connect to the earth, and it will help you not feel so overwhelmed and also encourage you to nurture relationships with your soul tribe. Now, in terms of world events, and of course I've already just mentioned one, but please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it. Get to the part where I hold up your first card, okay? Fast forward till then, but if you're going to listen on, astrologically, we are repeating a cycle from 1992 right through to 1999. Now, we only need to look back at that period in time to really understand what might be destined to arise. And of course, 1999 saw the launching of a new currency, the euro. So we may actually hear whispers of digital currency transitions as a soft launch before the big rollout. Now, I'm drawn to the financials, of course, this month as Taurus season influences wealth and currency in a really big way. We'll see more fluctuations with tense trade discussions. However, Taurus season will actually try to hold it all together, and with patience and long-term views of shifting things back to balance, we could see that come into effect. Now, we could also see a country or countries finally break away from a long-standing financial structure. And that will be in favor of independence, causing a major power struggle later on in the year. Also, an ambitious move to conquer or overthrow may see an authoritative figure forced from their position, but they really will not go quietly. And I also see a flash of a motorcade in conflict. Now, I cannot tell you where this is, who's involved. All I saw was the image, but it is definitely something to look out for as well. And we have moved into the golden era of information and truth being revealed. It's already in motion, and Taurus season may also see a confrontation of unfair manipulations, which open humanity's eyes even further, nudging a rebellion against societal structures in favor of personal freedom and belief systems. So, for example, what I mean by that is Mars-Pluto opposition is a cosmic boiling point, and that could heavily influence wild weather too in and around the 14th of May. But as Mars appears next to the Beehive star cluster, we could see conversations focused around the decline of bees, catastrophic in terms of ecosystem disruption, of course, and this revolutionary vibration could see a fight to save the farming industry, agriculture, food production, things like that. So that's what I mean when the energy can influence us in ways like that. We get revolutionary in order to save something that's really important to us or integral for humanity. Now, we'll also continue to see an increased seismic shift and, of course, volcanic eruptions. I've already mentioned the Ring of Fire numerous times. Two major volcanoes spewing ash close together in date could be a sign of a larger Pacific Ocean event to come. Now, my guides gave me a triple earth movement shall affect many. A horseshoe caldera, which burns inside on the Aleutian arc, shall erupt and be a sign. Now that sounds like a bit of a conundrum, something to decode for sure, but perhaps it points to a larger Pacific Ocean event to come. So something to look out for there as well. Now the energies are currently operating to release pressure, both on a global and personal scale. And on a personal level, of course, this month influences you to pay more attention to your values, your belief system, and of course your appearance. Sustaining beauty routines and treating yourself with a little something something. Taurus season reminds you of quality over quantity and always offers some form of reward, bonus, or prosperity, as it is a harvest month. Now, there is a lot to look forward to, but most importantly, May will offer you a positive expansion. It basically connects you with those you consider dear. It reinforces the importance of purpose and self-care, whilst also opening up portals of opportunity for you to build upon for the future in terms of your prosperity and wealth. So you're starting really strong with that Wheel of Fortune energy. I mean, we've got the Four of Cups and we've got the Seven of Swords. So some of you are exerting your independence this month. I feel like you are not conforming on something. You may even like strike out on your own and do something bold and daring, because this is a very spontaneous card. So it can be that you're going to connect to a lot of impromptu events or suddenly decide to change your mind on something and go and do something else. But actually, it's all in the name of your independence with that Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords, it can be read in many different ways. The history of the Seven of Swords is that the figure does not want conflict, so they remove the weaponry from the army in order to find peaceful solutions. So it can indicate that you are doing something that you feel is right for you, but perhaps everybody interferes in how they think you should be running your life, or they may try to give you some sort of advice. It may come from a good place, but you may feel like they're interfering, and I feel you may have a diplomatic conversation in the month of May to say, look, I got this. I appreciate your input. However, I'm doing it by myself and I'm just going to have fun doing it. And you may be either launching something new because you have that Fool card there, or you may be deciding to go into an education program or just doing something different, bold and daring. And you may not know how it's going to work out for you, but I can see it's going to be very successful indeed. The starting position card indicates that you are tapping into better luck this month, but also it can indicate that you are, changing gears in some way, or you're doing something different. The Wheel of Fortune indicates prosperity and good fortune, but you're coming into the month of May with that on your mind. And the Four of Cups can indicate some of you are either dissatisfied with the way things are, or you feel disenchanted in some way, or even disappointed in somebody. But there is this kind of emphasis on you changing the way that you approach this in order to resolve it, but also move on from it. But let's come back to your energy, because this indicates that this is a lucky month for you and you're going to be tapping into that luck. But also with the Four of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, this can indicate that you want to take a little bit more risk, or you want to do something just totally different than the usual. So it can indicate that you're embracing more adventure. You may book like a spontaneous getaway, or you may suddenly decide to launch a business. We got that Page of Wands. You may even launch yourself into like a new hobby or exercise routine. We've also got the Page of Wands and the King of Wands together. Okay, so this can indicate that you have a passion project that you start to mature in or really influence in a certain way. But whatever it is, you're expressing yourself and you're leading with passion, and you're someone who's super talented. And I see a lot of new beginning energy going on in the month of May for you. And I feel it stems from the fact that, you may be fed up of things being the way that they always have been. So I feel this cycle of change is going to be a very lucky one for you as well. Okay. Now the Wheel of Fortune, it indicates that prosperity, it comes in, it comes out. We have to learn to manage it, but I feel this is your period where things are looking up for you. And I feel with that Four of Cups, the universe is offering you something out of the blue, something that is really exciting and lucky indeed. Okay. Now I have to mention it. I don't like to mention it, but I have to, because these two cards, of course, the Seven of Swords can sometimes indicate someone, how can I put that? Either thieving ideas or a betrayal of trust. Okay, so because we have the Wheel of Fortune, this could be like an opportunist who sees a moment to like swipe your cell phone if you've got it on the counter at the cafe, for example. So just watch out for that. I'm just seeing like opportunists. I hate giving that message, but I have to honor it because it's there. But more than anything, because it is connected to a sword there with that Seven of Swords, I would say if you're launching anything that creatively you've been working on for some time, copyright it, trademark it, do something that basically highlights that this is your intellectual property, okay? Because I would say these two cards, someone may like stumble across your ideas in some way and think, you know what, I can't do this, but this person can. Libra is really talented. I'm going to take that for myself and I'm going to try and pass it off as my own idea. So this could be in your working environment if you're in a career, for example. Could also be, thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. Now, if you have a neighbor who can see what you have either in your home or in your garden, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, you could notice like a copycat or a neighbor trying to keep up with you and say, oh, the Librans have got this. I'm going to go out and get that as well. So there could be like this copycat energy. A little bit weird, but I feel they're looking to you for inspiration more than anything. And sometimes when you have someone who copies you, it can be seen as a compliment. But looking at the energy, I feel like you're just fed up with it. You're like, oh gosh, I feel like you want to connect to things that are unique and different and an expression of you. So anyone copying it, you're kind of like, oh, come on. If you're the sort of person who goes to an event, because I'm just getting this energy, for some of you, you may actually attend an event this month where someone is like wearing what you're wearing, okay? And I want you to be aware, this kind of double energy actually is a signpost from the universe that something really positive is about to occur for you. So when you see this, instantly think, oh my gosh, I'm wearing the same thing as that person. There's something really lucky coming on in here for you. So I want you to remember that when you see this, okay? So yeah, I'm going to move away from that energy. Now, of course, this card, it indicates you're in the mind for change this month. You want to do things differently. You want to explore new places, new faces. For some of you, because we have a map here, this could be you looking at your direction and your sense of purpose, but also you could be looking further afield, whether you want to move to a new neighborhood or a new part of the world. You have the Chariot card here, so you're tapping into your inner compass and you're really looking at where you feel like you belong. Now, I have to let you know that your second house is influencing you this month, and that's all about your sense of value. So you're going to be going, whether it's to a new neighborhood or to a new job or to a new country, wherever you're deciding to go that's new, that you're exploring at this time, you're going where you feel valued, okay? But also this is more about how you value yourself. So you're going to be looking at situations where you give away your power or undersell your talents, or even notice when people underestimate you. And of course, that second house is going to be amplified because we're in Taurus season, and that's all about cash, property, real estate, budget, savings plans, pensions, 401ks. Basically, you're going to be looking at debt, taking that down, consolidating your finances, really leveling up. So you may be taking down debt whilst being able to save a little bit more. And for some of you, if you have been feeling the pinch, you do have the Hierophant there. So you could come across some knowledge or even a company that can help you like consolidate debt or manage it more effectively to free you up. Okay, because you do have that beginnings card there, which is a card of freedom. So it could give you like a way out or a freedom from your circumstances if you've been really feeling the pinch. Some of you may just be learning about financial structures to help yourself in a better way, a more prosperous way there as well. But ultimately, with the Wheel of Fortune and your second house, this is a real go-getting spirit where you're putting your effort into achieving something and you're going to have extra luck along the way. So I would say suddenly opportunities appear. Suddenly, because the Four of Cups is basically just when you feel a little bit fed up or disappointed with the way things are, and for some of you it can be that you're bored or you just are disenchanted that everything you put your effort into because you're exhausted, and some of you may feel like it's just the same old day, just a different thing. With that Chariot card in the resistance position, it can feel somehow you're stuck or in the same place, but the universe is offering you with that Four of Cups a new opportunity, something that you're going to love. Now, it depends on what you're focused on, really, because it's going to be different for everybody. But the Four of Cups can indicate that if you're in the dating scene, that you've been looking around, there's no one really sparking your attention, and you're feeling a little bit disappointed with your options, and suddenly the universe thrusts a couple of people into your environment. You may even meet this new person in like a group of people. We got the Page of Wands. An invitation may suddenly come through, something you're passionate about. Could be connected to a hobby, or it could be connected to a friend inviting you to something. But the King of Wands is there, which means you are highly attracted to someone and they are highly magnetized by you as well. So suddenly the universe has thrown you an opportunity to really explore love or attraction with a new person. And then, you know, it puts a spring in your step. And I definitely see here you're going to explore that. For some of you, this Four of Cups could be an opportunity. If you're currently out of work, for example, because the Chariot card is in the resistance position, along with the Eight of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So this can indicate some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck because the cards are in the resistance position at first. Okay, so if you are currently looking for a job, I would say the Page of Wands and the King of Wands, I'm getting strong energy here of two roles coming in. One is very adventurous. It feels like not quite a course correction. I see that you could migrate your skills to this new role. I feel like you could really make it your own. I feel it's something that's a little bit different every day that keeps your interest, and I feel it's more in alignment with your dream. But also I do see another role that has more responsibility, more sense of duty, that also requires your knowledge, but it feels a little bit more stationary, if that makes sense. So it could be like more status. I definitely feel like the money could be very similar. Okay, I'm not sure how that can happen, but I feel like there's a starting position or a starting salary maybe, and somehow the salaries will eventually co-align on those two roles. It really depends on what you're looking for. So you may have to make a decision and choose the one that is right for you. I mean, I am getting like a very fast-paced environment with the first role that comes in, and I feel it's something that would really excite you and actually lead places. Okay, so you get an opportunity to staircase in your career. The other one that is more of a managerial role or something where you're more in control, it feels like you would be in that position and there wouldn't be much more room for maneuver in that position. You could be in that position long term. So, you know, I feel it depends on what you're looking for. And if you are in a job at this moment in time, I would say some really good news. A flurry of activity is coming in for you that helps free up your time. Some of you may be offered a training course to upskill in some way, or even offered a company car. For some of you, there may even be a business trip that is sudden or spontaneous, but actually it's really exciting. I feel like you're ready for this, but also it puts you in the path to network or meet someone who will be integral to the next moves that you make in your industry, whatever industry that is. I mean, even if you're a creative, an artist, or, you know, writer or an actor or a musician, it can be that you're going to be on the move with your work, and it can be that it puts you in a position to meet someone who can help you. Because I do see with this Hierophant card here that there could be you meeting an intermediary. And what I mean by that is someone who could be a manager or an agent or a gallery owner or a promoter or someone who could help like publish your work or allow yourself to be seen. So you could be making like a new deal this month where suddenly you launch something and it's through like either an establishment or a well-known company or agent or something like that. For some of you, if you're looking for a job in an office or in catering or whatever industry you're in, infrastructure, construction, whatever it is, I definitely see there could be like a platform where you find this role and it kind of like is the start of launching new enterprises or new experiences that are going to be very lucrative long term. Now, if you're already an entrepreneur, for example, I see you meeting several new clients or having new people come towards looking at your work or your services or goods or whatever it is, and I definitely see progress. Where you've seen no progress for a while because you're in the middle of making something happen, suddenly there is this flurry of activity that occurs mid-month, and I see a lot of progress, a lot of success, and I feel like you're very disciplined and diligent to make all of this happen, whatever this is, okay? Now, Whether you're tired or not, I get a sense here as well with that Four of Cups. Some of you are feeling a little bit of a lull, okay? So it can be that you are looking at being a little bit more independent. You may source travel with groups of like-minded individuals, or perhaps I'm actually seeing like a big cruise ship here. So of course not everybody's going to be going on a cruise ship, but it could be that you're going to go on like an all-inclusive vacation, or you may be independently going on some sort of trip where you actually meet a lot of people, like-minded individuals. And that's whether you're retired or not, but I'm getting this energy of travel where you get talking to someone and this person becomes a firm friend. And what I see is that there is a distance between you and this person. So you may end up like being pen friends, pen pals, or, writing to each other, phoning each other, video calling each other, all of the stuff. So I feel you meet a person where there is an affinity. Okay. Now, also, I want to come back to this Seven of Swords. This is your energy. It's a protagonist energy. So this can indicate that you want to break free from some sort of situation. And I definitely see you're going to be able to do it. I feel you need to be true to yourself on something, and it could be a major change. For some of you, it could be that you're relocating or, as I said, changing job or position, for example. But also the Seven of Swords, this can indicate you've been under a lot of pressure, okay? And for some of you, if you have been going under some financial pressure and you've like taken a loan or something, it can indicate that you will be paying back some of that, or it can be that you have sourced an opportunity to get a loan to help you with your finances in some way, but you are going to be able to pay it back is what I see, okay? That's something that's coming there as well. Let me just pull a quick card on that Seven of Swords for you, because I see it more in a very positive energy. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. My guides just added that it's going to be a very fast-paced month for you. So make sure that you don't go too quickly. Slow down a little bit, because you may have to return to something, or you may miss something. Especially if you're signing any new contracts, or you are trying to do something, structure something, or launch something. Don't feel pressurized to do it all at once, because Seven of Swords can be that you have to revisit something. For some of you, you may actually find out someone made a mistake, and you may have to revisit something in order to correct it, is what I'm seeing there as well. It makes you feel a bit fed up with that Four of Cups, but it also highlights that you're the person who's got the knowledge, because you have the Hierophant there, and you're the person who can unlock it all. So you may have someone who's in distress in the month of May that says, oh my gosh, I've made a mistake. Can you please help me? Or it could be, someone has made an error that you discover, and it kind of like needs someone to turn it around. This could be at work, could be a neighbor. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. This is so random. I'm just being given this energy as well of a neighbor needing to get into their home because they've forgotten their keys or something random. But someone out there may actually encounter a neighbor who needs to like jump over their fence to get into their back door or something. I'm not really sure where that's going. I'm just going to leave that energy there. I'm going to ground myself from that. So random, but maybe someone out there is going to deal with that. I'm not sure. So let's come back to your energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about independence. So this can be financial independence because of the month that we're in. So a lot of you are turning your life around in order to work towards financial independence, to be more free. Nine of Pentacles, if you know that card in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, it indicates that you're someone who's already successful, but it can be that you are trying to, save a little bit more than you give out at this time. You're budgeting, but also it means you're having a glow up, both financially as well as physically, okay? This can also be that you're being more discerning about the company that you keep or the things that you connect to, so that you save more energy for yourself in order to prioritize your projects and, build something, build wealth. A lot of you could be working towards generational wealth because we do have that Hierophant there, and the Nine of Pentacles is moving towards the Ten of Pentacles, which basically means you're getting some sort of financial structure in there, building towards security, maybe learning more about wealth and, structures that can help you master all that you desire and free up your time, for example. But, you know, the Nine of Pentacles indicates you're being disciplined. You are showing up for yourself this month. You're going to be super organized. You're focused on completing your work, whatever that work is. I mean, a lot of it is work that you began a long time ago. So you could be focused on projects that you have going on in the mix right now. And you may complete this and be on to the next. I definitely see that you are productive this month. And, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is an energy of being financially independent, or at least comfortable. That's the aim with that Seven of Swords. So some of you could be thinking about launching your own business, working for yourself, being a consultant, or being really artistic and actually launching like a side hustle or hobby or something that you're really good at that could actually bring in wealth on the side, ticking over. Because if you know the Nine of Pentacles, there's two sources of money. You know, one that the figure is kind of like putting their hand on, like, that's for me. Nobody gets to see that. That's mine. I'm just going to squirrel that away. And this is the money that I'm going to work with. So normally there is Six Pentacles over here that the figure is holding back, keeping, saving. And then there's Three Pentacles where it's like, okay, I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to pay for food. I'm going to have a little bit of fun. So I definitely see here a lot of you could be compartmentalizing your finances. But also this is about you building a life of comfort and basically appreciating everything that you're doing for yourself. You're showing up for yourself, and I feel like some of you could actually withdraw in order to work on a project and not be distracted there as well. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles can also indicate that you're focused on your health, that you're trying to get more into nature. On the Nine of Pentacles, there's normally a bird of freedom. It's a bird of prey as well. So it can be that, you know, you have your eyes locked on to financial freedom, but also to a life of luxury, of success, of achievement, of goals. And you are keeping your eye on the prize, whatever that means for you. So I definitely see here that Nine of Pentacles connects to that Seven of Swords. It's nothing negative. I want you to be aware of that. But also I would say, because it is a solitary card, some of you, because success is hard won, of course. You know, some of you may feel that you have to isolate yourself in order to really focus on something. I would also say, because I'm clarifying that Seven of Swords, you know, just be a little bit mindful if you're in a public place, but you're on your own. If you're like distracted, for example, an opportunist could swipe your cell phone if you're in a cafe, or, you know, that's just something that keeps coming up. So I would just be mindful, nothing to be like paranoid about, but I just keep seeing it being like in a cafe. So yeah, just be mindful. Now that Four of Cups, it indicates that, you know, something is being offered, as I mentioned, that's going to be very fulfilling. But a lot of you are recognizing that you're dreaming of something. You're contemplating new opportunities, and it can be that there's been a bit of a lull in action or offers or chances for you to, you know, go big in life. I definitely see there is something happening here for you that will turn everything around, maybe even unexpectedly because of that Wheel of Fortune. But I feel that you should be secure in the knowing that greater things await you, and the universe is actually aligning you and conspiring on your behalf, so that you will not be disappointed. Okay, so I definitely see some really great things here, but I also see, because of the cards you have at the end, that the universe is responding to your desires. You know, what makes you feel excited and happy and joyful and interested and inspired. So you're locked onto that at this time, and that gives you a lot more freedom to explore. Very explorative month for you. I would say at the end of the month as well, you got a lot of fun coming your way, and a very playful side of you is coming out. Now, of course, we have the empowerment card there. So this means you're making a lot of progress, but initially it's in the resistance position. So it can indicate some of you have moments of feeling a little bit stuck, but also I'm getting this energy of you really tapping into, like, ruminating on your sense of purpose as well as direction. And I feel like you're going to be inspired at the end of the month with lots of new ideas, and you're locked onto this sort of like flurry of activity where suddenly you know what to do, and suddenly you're excited by it, and suddenly there's a lot of success around it. You're taking action and it's happening, and it's something that leads to a major triumph there. You've committed yourself, and you should be confident that, you know, you are changing your outcome. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of energy here for success, and the universe is supporting that by sending you an extra bit of good luck there as well. Now, I'm also being given this energy here that some of you, it's either an idea or a project that you kind of gave up on or like shelved it. You're going to return to that this month, and you may reimagine it in some way. Maybe new knowledge that you have will help revamp it, or some of you may even learn more about the topic or whatever it is and kind of, as I said, reimagine it and then launch it. It's going to be very successful. Perhaps some of you may have thought it wasn't successful at first, or it didn't work out, or maybe it didn't inspire you at first, but there's something different about it this month where suddenly you've got new ideas about it, maybe tweaking it a little bit. I feel like you may relaunch it, soft launch it, whatever it is. I definitely see it's going to be very interesting and exciting there. And you make a lot of progress with that. Now, of course, for some of you, I am getting this energy that, it's the same old thing, just a different day, okay? And some of you are like really calling out for adventure. So you may actually book an impromptu vacation. Okay, this could be somewhere you've never been before, could even be with a best friend or a soul tribe or a family member. I just get this like conversation about, should we just go here? Should we just book it? Let's do it. Let's go. And, for some of you, it could be something that you have been talking about for some time, but it never really went anywhere. Well, May, I see you booking it. I see it happening. And I feel like you're going to have a lot of fun there. So some of you, if you have something booked already, I see a vacation where you're just going to like let loose, let your hair down. That playful side comes out. But also, whilst you're away, and this may not resonate with all of you, whilst you're away, I'm just getting this like educational day or course that you may actually go on. Like if you're going to a certain country where you love the food of that country, it could be that you decide to book yourself on an afternoon learning how to do a certain cultural dish, for example. I'm just seeing that there, and it's going to inspire you to use certain herbs and spices in the rest of your food. I'm just picking up on that. So you're just going to have a wonderful time when you're away. A lot of you are working super hard, being completely focused on your plans to tie up loose ends, get organized, and be very productive in order to take a vacation as well, because this is a travel card. But a lot of you, because there is this Wheel of Fortune there, you may be thinking about like going somewhere new. Whether it's a new neighborhood, new country, maybe you may be just contemplating things at this time with this card because it is in a resistance position. But suddenly I feel like after you've like researched it a little bit more, you are locked onto the fact that actually this is right for you, whatever this is. So please apply it to your situation. I mean, the Chariot card, when it comes to finances, it can indicate that, perhaps you are looking at a stricter budget this month. Perhaps you feel like you overindulged last month, or perhaps you felt like things were a little bit more expensive last month. Perhaps you had certain things to do. For example, some of you may have had to put your car in the garage, or perhaps you had to get like a service or something like that. So they may have been like larger financial payouts last month, and now you're recouping the energy and the money. And it can be that, you're not going to be spending as much this month because this is to keep a tighter rein on your finances. I mean, for some of you with that Eight of Swords in the resistance position, that's why I'm mentioning it. It's like a freedom from this. And we have that Knight of Swords there as well. So this could tell me for some of you, if you do have a car, because this is in the resistance position, I would say that if you have, what could that be? Let me just see. Eight of Swords. Let me just pick up on the energy of that. I'm just getting like a starter ignition or something, starter ignition motor. There could have been an issue with that, or if you haven't experienced that, it could be something that you experience in the month of May. And I feel like you get somebody who is very knowledgeable and they're really good at what they do, but they're overcharging. Look around. You're going to find someone who's equally as knowledgeable and really great at what they do. And I feel like there's just an apprentice vibe about this person. So it could be that perhaps this person's only just started their business, but they're hungry for the business. And also they're really qualified and great at what they do. And they got some great reviews, and you just get it for a lower price. Okay, so that's coming through there. So I'm just going to put it like that. And It just feels like ignition or something to do with the starter motor, okay? And it could be something that is just easily tweaked. It doesn't seem like a big job like you may have thought it was in the first place. With a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy. This card, it will go into the upright, which means that you're moving forward, making progress, and victory shall be yours on some area of your life. Some of you, this could also be like... how can I put that? You being brave with something and being disciplined. So if, for example, you've been going through an unwellness, for example, it could be that, you are being disciplined in order to get better. And it can indicate, especially with that Hierophant there, you find a consultant or someone who's very knowledgeable to help you make progress and manage something more easily. Or, basically this person could also put you in touch with a practitioner overseas who could also benefit you. But what I do see here is like a new lease of life, you overcoming something, and that vitality returns there as well. But coming back to the energy of the Chariot card, this can indicate that you are on the move in life or upgrading in some way. I mean, because we have a lot of communication cards here, some of you could literally upgrade your cell phone, for example, or you may have to upgrade a password. Some of you may be called to, change your password in some way. I would say if someone calls you out of the blue and says, hey, we've noticed some unusual activity on your account, you need to upgrade your security, change your password, we can help you. That's when you put down your cell phone, you turn it off, okay, and you don't listen to that person because there's a potential that they could be a scammer. Some of these scams are like super complex, for example, and I would just say just be a little bit mindful just because your Seven of Swords is there, okay? Now, of course, this card can indicate that a lot of you may be having some sort of promotion in your working environment. You may actually see some new people or new support in the working environment as well. There may be someone new, younger, coming in. They're hungry for opportunity, for example. They may feel like they know it all, but actually they will come towards you for knowledge and for help. And I feel there could be some connection with this person to a hierarchical figure. So for example, it could be a secret that this new person who comes into the working environment is actually a relation of the boss, for example. And they may come to you for some sort of advice, and you give this advice, and they actually go back to the boss, who is a member of their family, and says, oh my gosh, Libra is super helpful, they're so awesome. And this could set you up for being noticed for a promotion or raise or some sort of financial opportunity coming in there, maybe even a new role to figurehead something. So I just got that coming through there too. So I'm just going to move away from that energy. A lot of you, if you've been trying to make a lifestyle change or choice, whether it is diet related or exercise related or maybe even neighborhood related, whatever it is, I feel there's this energy of trying to change something but slipping back into old ways. This is the month to really break a habit or break something that has been hindering you from reaching your goal, and now you lock onto a more sustainable energy and a more sustainable opportunity to stay on track. That's what I'm seeing there. The Knight of Swords is a card of activity. It is a card of making progress, but also it is the warrior card, you springing into action. So if you've been dealing with anything where you've been struggling with it or it's been problematic, I see you overcoming this. I mean, if you are in a career, this is a card that says you will be successful in your career as well. But also, because of its position, again, it reinforces the message to don't rush into anything. Take time to really reflect on it. The Four Cups normally sees a person sitting underneath a tree, kind of mulling things over, feeling like, okay, look, I've got these 3 cups in front of me, but it's not what I'm looking for. And then suddenly something new comes in, and it's something that needs attention, but you don't want to rush into it because you may have to double back. You may miss something if you rush into it. So again, that message is coming through there as well. Now, of course, the Knight of Swords, it indicates strategy, it indicates success, but also it indicates you adapting to a situation in a different way. I feel like knowledge will be the key to you adapting to this new situation. So for example, if I'm just being given this, if there's like a new neighbor in your neighborhood and they tend to be a little bit loud, for example, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like you could have a very diplomatic conversation about noise wherever you live, for example, with this person, and not really call them out, but just highlight, the way things are, not in a busybody kind of way, but in a way where you're like, okay, welcome to the neighborhood. You're really friendly. And that sets the person thinking, you know what? I really like Librans. I'm not going to be overly loud. I'm just going to be like on good terms. I just feel this person warms to you, or it's like you win the situation. That's something that's coming through there as well. But the Knight of Swords indicates you planning something and making progress on it, utilizing all your energy to lock onto a goal, and maybe even adapting to a new way of getting it. There's going to be some swift returns when you see this card. So I definitely see here it's putting you in a good position this month to move forward on something. And some of you may also get an important call this month as well, that you will have to travel either to either a meeting or an appointment is what I see. And you may learn something at an appointment, and you have to make a decision which will influence your circumstances. I'm not being given something specific on that, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm always going to let you know when I can't grasp an energy. I'll always be honest with you. I'm just going to leave that there. We have this Eight of Swords, which actually is in a really good position because it means, you're being freed up from a situation. There's a liberation from a very stuck, stagnant kind of position. So, if you've reached like a plateau in some area of your life, whether it's, you having the same conversation with your partner, if you're in a relationship and you just keep going round and round in circles on it, and, there's no midway point and it's just frustrating. Suddenly I feel there's a breakthrough where both of you kind of understand each other with that Hierophant there and the Fool card. And it kind of just unlocks something where both of you see each other in a new light, in a really positive way that reinforces your relationship. For some of you, this could be you breaking free from a certain plateau in your career. Perhaps you're leveling up. That's what I'm seeing here for a lot of you. It could also be that if you've had a certain energy level, or you've been in a little bit of a funk recently and feeling unmotivated or uninspired, this is the month to really have a breakthrough and kind of like have new ideas, and it's like hope returns. I feel there is a release there. And for a lot of you, this release could come in the form of like you're taking a vacation, you're having some time away to really think about your circumstances. Okay. Now, your outcome energy, we have the inner teacher. So you're learning a lot about yourself and your capabilities, but also your potential this month as well, because there's some really great things coming in your way. But, this can be that you are deciding to educate yourself in some area where you build knowledge that will help you be free. So this can be, as I said, that you're launching your own business so you can free yourself up and be financially independent. For some of you, this could be you learning to utilize money and make it work for you. I'm only talking about that because, of course, we are in Taurus season and your second house is governing you. But it's really interesting because you have a lot of escape cards this month. You have the Chariot card, you have the Eight of Swords, and of course you have the Fool card. And your ninth house is governing you at the end of the month. And that's all about the great quest for meaning, but it can also be the great escape. So it can be that you are locking onto your sense of purpose, learning more about who you are, the responsibilities that you have, reestablishing your connection to your higher self, and also to that playful side of yourself there. Some of you may feel, compelled to book a spiritual retreat, for example, or a cultural getaway and enroll in some sort of higher learning process to learn more about you and the possibilities. I feel some of you could also release yourself from a generational cycle that's been going on since childhood there as well. So I feel this is a fresh new start energy. But also a lot of you could be educating yourself to structure a new start. And it all starts with your belief system and what it is that you want for your future. So I feel this Fool card is, reinforcing the sense of adventure. It can also be taking a risk because you have the Wheel of Fortune there, and it is a beginnings card. So some of you could literally be launching a new business or a new idea, maybe a new style of work or creativity. For some of you, it could be that you're deciding to move properties, move to a different town or a different country. The Fool card is a lot of new beginnings, so they can happen in many different forms. For some of you, because we have, of course, the Hierophant, this could be that there are new contracts or new service providers that you're going to be looking at. So, the day-to-day living of things, it could be that you are looking elsewhere to save finances, to get better deals. Could also be that if you are on a course of learning, there may be a change in the tutor. It could be like a substitute tutor who comes in and you may actually have more knowledge, or it's almost like they unlock a faster way of learning about something for some of you. Some of you could also have been in education already, and now you are, successfully completing that and getting a qualification or certification that sets you free to break out of a cycle, or even like break through a glass ceiling to help you get more money or get opportunities, or really release your passions and lock on to what you're excited about. I mean, this card can also indicate that you're trying a lot of new things as well. New diets, exercise routines. Sometimes when you exercise, for example, if you're working on your arms for a while, it can be that suddenly the body gets used to those exercises, and then you have to shake it up a little bit and use another exercise to work another part of the arm, just to keep the body guessing and learning and shaping up differently. And you can apply that to many different areas of your life, because if we do something all the time, sometimes we get a little bit bored of it, and that's actually when you become a master of your craft, for example, and you are a pro at what you do. But ultimately, we need to be stimulated in many different ways. We need to have excitement in our life. So a lot of you could be locking on to things that are a little bit more exciting, more adventurous at the end of the month. So if you're in training for something, there could be like a new process or a new approach to it that unlocks everything. And suddenly it's like, exciting. And, I just feel there is this optimistic energy about you at the end of the month. Something may also require you to take a leap of faith, but you've got the knowledge to back it up. So it's almost like you may be taking a calculated risk rather than just a risk. Okay. And I feel it's going to benefit you in many different ways. Now, we do have that Page of Wands, which is news, something you're going to be really excited about. This card can also connect to, a frisson, shall we say, or some chemistry between you and a person. So I think I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for love, if I didn't, I definitely see here that there are two options here. So there's kind of like this passionate frisson there, and I feel there's a long-term sustainable relationship that you may want to explore. I would also say a lot of you, whether you're in a relationship or not, I am getting this energy that someone may actually highlight they have feelings or, a chemistry with you, but they may be married. So look out for that. Someone could make a pass at you, and you may already know that this person has someone else. So just watch out for that. I feel like you lead with truth and integrity, and looking at the energy, I feel like you kind of like go in the other direction. You're not interested in this person, but I feel like you're so fed up with the fact that this person has crossed the line, or maybe even felt that they could disrespect you and try their luck there. I feel like you're not about it, looking at the energy. Now, this Page of Wands is some really great news for you. I would say this is something that is electric. It's something that you will celebrate. And, this is spontaneous, this news, whatever it is. It connects to ambition. So I feel whatever it is that you're wanting to get, there's a herald of good news here, a portal, a catalyst for change, where this news will change everything, and suddenly you're heading in a direction that is exciting and leads to better opportunities as well. And you're influencing this, whatever this is. So King of Wands energy is an influencer. But I just want to pull a card here because I feel a lot of you, you're locked onto your passions. You're launching yourself into a flurry of activity. You may be a little bit more adaptable because I feel you're very quick thinking and the circumstances could be changeable in the month of May. But it all works in your favor. And you are commanding like this energy where you're taking leadership of your life. You are going to see progress, no matter how small. Justice. So this is your card, my beautiful Librans. It's a major arcana card. So good karma coming your way. Also balance, making some adjustments. And I would say this is a card basically of you kind of like having the best of both worlds. Responsibility, fun, going out there, being a little bit more sociable than usual. Maybe having a little bit of travel there as well. King of Pentacles, multiplying your wealth or locked onto a financial goal. I mean, these two cards together as well could indicate right at the end of the month, there's a flurry of activity regarding administrative tasks. So contracts, you know, I mentioned already with the Hierophant there and the Fool card, could be new contracts coming in, maybe even you looking at expiry dates, because the Fool card can be new dates. So because we have the Justice card, there could be something that perhaps is coming to an end and needs a renewal, or perhaps you are going to terminate something in order to lock onto something more beneficial for you. But with the Justice card and the King of Pentacles, this can be that you are keeping a tight rein on your finances and you're adjusting your spending habits for some of you. And of course, the King of Pentacles indicates that you are in business mode. You're focusing on practical things. It doesn't have to be in a career. It can be that you're locked onto your projects or you're being serious about life and your sense of responsibility and your duties. But that Fool card is a little reminder there as well to have some fun. Now, the Justice card and the King of Pentacles can also indicate some of you maybe setting up some sort of financial legal structure, or maybe becoming a boss yourself, bossing up in some way. But also I feel this could be you getting a truth or a piece of information from a person who's quite a serious person, someone who wouldn't joke around, someone who's very intelligent, someone who is like, you know what, this is the facts. So if you're searching for some sort of information or you're trying to find a solution on a situation, it could be someone who is strong in an earth element, like a Taurian, Virgonian, or I would say Capricorn as well. I was just tapping in to see if I'm getting that energy, and yes, I am. So, you know, this person could help you out with something or give you some really great advice on something there as well. But ultimately, the King of Pentacles indicates that you're ready for some abundance. You've been manifesting, you've been working really hard. The conditions may not have been 100% right, but now you're aligned for your highest good. And the Justice card indicates it's time. A lot of you, something you've been taking action on, or it's like a cause and effect. You've been sowing the seeds, your ideas, or nourishing something, nurturing something to term. You know, the King of Pentacles can be harvest time. It can be that you are locked onto a reward based on all the efforts that you've been putting into something. And that can transpire across the board, whether it's you nurturing relationships with your neighbors, your landlord, for example, whether it is you nurturing a goal or a dream. Whatever it is, I feel like you're going to see you making progress in that, okay? I'm just going to go and get some final cards before I close your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Grand Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? We have independence, you know. I was feeling that right at the beginning of your reading, and there it is. You could have got any card in this deck, but, you know, I'm being given lots of different energies, and I have to honor all the energies that come my way. So the fact that you got independence there, it's like start to explore new territory, and that's what you're doing. Maybe you're even going to like a different part of your neighborhood. Watch out for the cafe part, okay? But, you know, I see that you're going to have a wonderful month, but I just see you being very explorative and exerting some sort of independent streak. We've got doubting, unsure about something or someone. Oh, when I saw the Victorious card, I almost wanted to say you're going to get this card, but I didn't know that, so I didn't mention it. But, I really was mesmerized by it momentarily when I showed it to you, when I was showing you the deck. My guides have asked me to go one more, so I will. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? Anything more for the month of May? We have reaching. The moment has arrived for you to reach your desired destination. You're carrying out the plan. I'm excited about that. So let's get to the first one, independence. Okay, Bastet. They're highlighting that you are protecting your plans, you're guarding your energy, and it says, start to explore new territory. You're possessing magical powers. Follow your intuition. So again, I feel like you're going to be very spontaneous this month, very changeable. Suddenly you may change direction. Suddenly you may reschedule things, lock onto something new that captures your attention. You're more curious about that than the other thing. You're going to just be shaking things up a little bit. We've also got doubting. Okay, now this I feel is connected to either an idea or something that you shelved, where you felt it would work or you doubted it would work. I actually feel like you revisit this in the month of May, but it says here, unsure about something or someone, lack of trust or confidence, and the choice is unclear. Okay, maybe that connects also to the Seven of Swords. Perhaps you are trying to find the truth on a situation, or you doubt someone. Maybe you're watching this situation or this person right now, and you're feeling a bit fed up because perhaps you've been watching for a while and it's not been yielding any truth or results. But I feel something could be revealed, especially since that Justice card came out. Truth could be revealed this month, and perhaps you find out that you were right about a piece of information because the knowledge becomes clear. You get that knowledge, and perhaps it puts you in a really good position after all. And we've also got victorious. Okay, so there is a level of success about your month here. Beating your competition, enemies, or beating your enemies there, overcoming an obstacle, and success and power. So locked onto a goal and being successful. But, if there's any naysayers or haters, I feel like you're basically going out there and doing life and showing them what you're made of. Even though you're not actually going out there to be validated, you're doing your own thing. But it's interesting about haters, what they hate in you, they normally lack in themselves. So just keep shining, okay? We also have reaching. Something that you're reaching for, and look at that figure. This figure is launching themselves into something. The keys are within reach. Keys represent destiny, so you're destined to get whatever this is, this opportunity. And it says here, the moment to act has arrived, reaching your desired destination and carrying out the plan. So being very disciplined, locked onto that goal, and it's going to happen for you, whatever it is, okay? So you may get some really interesting communication about that shows that you are making progress, and it will let you know the next steps to take there as well. Just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. We have two. So we have a dolphin, which is always an indication to have fun, but also it reminds you to trust your intuition, that you have a lot of intelligence. Dolphins have very high IQ, and intuitively, they have that sonar, that radar, where they can intuitively kind of preempt something that's about to happen. So I would say trust your intuition there as well. And of course, dolphins are very sociable, so a lot of you could be very sociable there at the end of the month. We also have a dragon. Now, dragons are regenerative, so I would say this is you stepping into your power on something. For some of you, it could be that you're in the dragon stages of something, almost like rising from the ashes and turning into the phoenix. You're turning something around so that it's going to be more beneficial for you. I definitely see a lot of empowerment here, and you being on track and really celebrating yourself that you did this, whatever this is, okay? So a great month to turn it around, but also to have a little bit of freedom to enjoy yourself and maybe even take a little bit of a vacation to think about the next stages. If you're launching something, I definitely see it's going to be very successful indeed. So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Librans. I hope something resonates with you there. Thank you so much, and love and light.